emptying out the mailbag and sitting outside. One of us is sitting outside enjoying the weather. It's not the two guys in New York. Look at
And he claims this is not to rub it in, but this is to rub it in right now. I see a reflection of palm trees. Yeah. I look outside my window, and it is sunny today, which at least is a reprieve from what it has been this whole week. But can't golf today, Adam, after this. Golf is done. The golf season is over for me over here. And I don't know what to do with my time anymore. I can't stand the cold. I can't stand it. I have
an idea, and I'd start looking at Fort Lauderdale, Florida, because you clearly want to move down there. All the slander. He spends 1 week there, and all of a sudden he's smitten. Just can't wait to get out of New York or New Jersey.
No, there's some truth in that.
Yeah, of course there should be. All right, Jamie's actually sitting like on a golf course. Well, sort of, and
I'm sitting on a golf course.
Yeah, he is. He's not.
I am. So my house is being renovated, and I am displaced. My family's displaced at the moment, so we're staying with my mother-in-law, who's gracious enough to have myself, my wife, and my 3 very quiet, well-behaved children. But she happens to live on a golf course. So just full disclosure, when we started the show this morning, on Friday morning, I briefly left the show because they started the demolition in the middle of the show of the house. And it sounded literally like a wrecking ball was going through my kitchen. And so I quickly ran. I was like, hey, give me 10 more minutes. And so I was planning to do the show from the house. But this might be my my studio away from home. It's very difficult right now.
I'm glad you need a nice tea. All right, so we'll see if there's any news that comes about. We're recording a little bit earlier, so I don't think we're gonna get any practice reports during the show, but we'll let you know if we do. Remember to watch Fantasy Football Today on HQ this weekend, 9 a.m. was to get ready for the game in Germany, the Dolphins and the Chiefs. That's at 9:30, so 9 a.m. Eastern. Watch HQ for Fantasy Football Today. You can watch that on the CBS Sports app, and join us for our live stream at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Time for our Apple Podcast questions. This is from History Nick. Best male host on the best podcast. Not even close. Year-round listener. You're the best. Oh, thank you. Just so much. Half PPR. Dallas Goedert against the Cowboys or Dalton Kincaid at the Bengals, who give up the most fantasy points to tight ends.
I'm running with the matchup here. I'm running Dalton Kincaid. I love the matchup. I love the potential for that to be a really good game script for fantasy football. I watched that entire Bengals game last week, and I felt like there were missed opportunities for the 49ers offense. I did not feel like the Bengals defense took a step forward. I think the Bills will find success, but I think the Bengals will also find success on offense. So fun game. I think Kincaid will. And I also take a look at Kincaid's usage lately from an ADOT standpoint, from an average depth of target standpoint. That has been on the rise as well, which is really exciting from a fantasy standpoint.
I agree.
Okay. From 707 Jaywalk.
See, sometimes, Adam, that's how it works. When the first person talks, the second person has nothing really to say additionally, so they just say, I agree. Okay.
Right.
I am
I asked you a question, Goddard or Kincaid. You check Jamie's rankings. You say Kincaid, and then he says he agrees. All right. Tua, Herbert, Burrow. Rank them rest of season, and who has the most trade value?
I would go Burrow, Tua, Herbert, and who has the most trade value? I think probably still in that order, just because if that's the best value of the 3, at least for me, those would be the ones I'd be trying to acquire.
I'm going to go a little bit off. I'm going to go Tua, Burrow, Herbert for the rankings, but I actually think Herbert might have the most trade value league-wide right now, and just from a thought standpoint of where people view these quarterbacks right now. But I also see things trending in the wrong direction for Herbert versus the other 2. Obviously, things are trending great for Burrow, but I still feel like Tua has a little bit of a leg up with getting Devin Achane back. He looked good running and cutting today in a video I saw. I just think that's going to help the entire offense and get them back to that explosive way.
The only thing I'm thinking of is Tua still has his bye week to go, whereas the other 2 have already passed their bye week.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Here's
people
one.
Love to look for that in trades, by the way. You're right, James. People, no bye week, and then they boost them up. So
James from Kentucky. Need help, fantasy cops?
Early cops.
This is only one for the day. Unfortunately.
Oh.
I know. I'm sad about it. I need help, fantasy cops. A trade just went down in our league with 2 new league members. We never veto trades, but something just doesn't smell right. Team A just lost Cousins and is 2-6, and they traded Christian McCaffrey to Team B for Dak Prescott and Jacoby Myers.
Ugh.
Team B is 5-3 and also happens to be Team A's uncle. The league is in an uproar because it seems the best player in fantasy just got traded for pennies on the dollar to a family member who's in contention. Again, the trade is McCaffrey to the uncle for Dak Prescott and Jacoby Myers. What do you think?
If you never veto trades, and these are two new league members, there's obviously no history of these guys working together. So I think you just put it on your radar and you say, okay, this is something we have to be aware of moving forward. You can't veto it if you don't veto trades.
I actually have a slightly different take on this, and I am king of anti-veto, but I just can't stand this type of stuff. This is just egregiously bad. There's no explanation for it. There's no rationale. Oh, I need a quarterback. Cousins got hurt. No, it's a 1 QB league. You can find a different kind of quarterback for a much cheaper price, either via trade or just free agency. I'm sure there's some quarterbacks out there. So there's no real explanation from a logical explanation for it. So then at least I think you should ask these people, like ask the person who traded away Christian McCaffrey, like, one, what was your thinking? And two, did you shop him at all? Because if you didn't shop him at all, that's where I have the problem there. Like, you have the best player in fantasy football. If you want to trade him, you should be shopping him to every team and seeing who can give you the best combo of quarterback plus, which is what he was looking for, obviously, or he or she was looking for, obviously, in this trade. So I don't want to set a bad precedent by saying, oh, we are a league that does no vetoes and we could just allow stuff like this to happen, because it's just, it's tough.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a bad trade.
That bad? Jacoby Myers and Dak Prescott for Christian McCaffrey?
Kobe Myers,
that's going to ruin a league level.
No, you can't rationalize it, but it's
no. Wait. If this happened before Garoppolo was benched, and I suspect that it did, you're talking about a must-start top 20 wide receiver.
Oh, come on, Adam.
No. And a quarterback replacement. You're desperate at quarterback. You're not getting a guy like Dak Prescott on the waiver wire.
There's no such thing as true desperation at quarterback in a one quarterback league.
Yes, are you kidding? Like, I completely disagree with that. You're going to go to the waiver wire.
Okay, we're going to go.
You want to see desperate for quarterback playing?
We're short on time. You can't rationalize that trade.
I think you can. I just did.
No, you can't. You can't rationalize the trade.
It's a bad trade. It's not a veto trade.
I'll show you desperate for quarterback. In my 2 QB league, 2 teams aren't even starting a quarterback this league because one guy, shout out Steve Hall, it's his birthday, has 5 quarterbacks rostered. That's desperate for quarterback. 1 QB league, you can find something.
I go to the waiver wire and I pick up Taylor Heineke, I don't feel like I'm doing well. Jamie,
I'm not sure. Like, of course you're not doing well, but like
you just have to be aware of this moving forward. Like if this is really something like we're there, colluding, then you got to be concerned about it. But if this is the first time that they've made a trade and it's the first time they're in the league and you don't veto trades, you can't veto it.
Yeah, and then I see this comment here from Nicholas Cage. Agree with Dan. The trade shifts the balance of the entire league.
It's too much.
I mean, it probably does because you have a non-contender trading away. But I think it's a bad trade. I don't think it's a veto trade. It is too much, but it's not to me, it's not a veto trade. And I'm always the one.
You can always do the McCaffrey trade that's making the rounds on the internet.
Thank you for the
although they're related, so that probably wouldn't work.
Oh yeah.
Well, it depends what state they're in.
Okay. From PP174. I'll just call him PP. With the Stafford injury, would you trade Puka for Bijan in PPR?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too.
I would have done it if Stafford was healthy.
From Zebo, start 3 receivers: Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans.
I'm probably
Adams,
saying Puka.
Wheel. Oh, see, what was it? You're sitting one. You're picking the sit, Jamie.
There's 4.
Sit Puka.
Sit 3. Puka. I'm sitting Puka.
Yeah, sit Puka.
And and the second part of the question was, he has Adams, Lamb, Puka, and Evans. Would you try to trade one for a quarterback upgrade? He has Stafford and Stroud, and I would. It is a 3-receiver league, but I would.
I would. I'm also trying to figure out what's going on with the whole Rams situation rest of season. Like, is Matthew Stafford going to get better by rest, or is this going to affect his throwing all season?
Right.
That's the way we've kind of framed it is,
yeah,
sit this week, bye next week, play hopefully the week after.
Okay.
I think that's what's going to happen, but I don't know that he's going to be healthy. And I hate that I feel like it's going to be the end of the year when we're looking at next season. We're going to go, well, the first 8 games when Stafford was healthy, and then the last 6 when he wasn't healthy, or 7. I feel like it's gonna be one of those situations. It could be where he's
Oh,
playing.
they're. I'd be shocked if they're not hitting the reset button. And Stafford's the quarterback next year.
Well, either way, like we'll be looking at a half season basically with a healthy quarterback and a half a season without one, maybe. All right, this is from JT in Philly. Said, I know you've mentioned the advantage of slot receivers against the Saints, as opposed to being a tough matchup on the outside. How much does DJ Moore line up in the slot? And would you start him over Puka Nacua and Nico Collins? I need 2 of those. I'm going to look up the slot percentage. I think it's about 20% for Moore. He's not in the slot a lot, but would you compare DJ Moore to the Texans guys?
You mean this week?
Yeah, this week.
I would start Nico Collins over Moore, and that's it. I'm not starting Tank Dell or Noah Brown over him.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, on average, he's probably about 15% in the slot. In the last 2 weeks, 8.2%, 12.3%.
Ooh.
DJ Moore. He's 85% or more.
Said, ooh, you don't want him. You don't want him against Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, Debo, wherever he lines up. All right, next one is from Young Mart. Adam equals funniest and best hair. No contest, honestly. Pick 2.
It's unbelievable how cherry picked these comments, these emails are. Everyone just knows at this point. It's like obvious. Oh, you want to get your email read? Just compliment Adam. It's just this is where we're at right now on FFT. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Gabe Davis, Garrett Wilson, Pittman, or T. Higgins. I need 2.5 PPR. Gabe, Garrett Wilson, Pittman, T. Higgins.
Garrett Wilson and it's half PPR said?
Pittman. Yes, half PPR.
Yeah, Wilson and Pittman.
I'll go with Wilson and Gabe Davis. I really like how they've used him lately. They've moved him after the injury to Dawson Knox. They've changed his role almost entirely. Will it stick? I don't know, but I hope it will because it's been working for them. And what they've done is they've lined him up on those tight splits near the tight end, near the line of scrimmage versus just always on the boundary. And that's helped them get a lot of easier looks. Jacob Gibbs has some really good stats on this if you want to check him out over at Sportsline. And he's got a lot of good stats there. So check out Beyond the Box Score, the article from Jacob Gibbs over there where he talks about this.
Full PPR. Gave up Ridley for T. Higgins. This is from Cheetos.
I like it.
I mean, it's basically a wash at this point. So if you're buying into Ridley being better than Higgins, that's fine.
A couple more emails that I did cherry pick. Okay. Yep, these are Apple Podcast questions. This one says, leave Dan alone. It's from Bog Pimpin.
Wow. Thank you, Bob.
Wow. Is that the code name for your parents?
Leaving a review solely for the purpose of defending Dan's burger toothpick. Have you never had a sandwich full of stuff that starts sliding out of the bag?
Right.
You take a bite? Sorry, we don't all eat PB&Js for dinner, Adam, but the toothpick is very useful for keeping a burger together as you eat it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I knew I wasn't alone.
I'm an adult, so I don't have that problem with burgers. But if I did, maybe I'd use a toothpick. Giannis B. This is the last one here from Giannis.
I can still picture him moving the toothpick around.
Yeah, you're an adult. You don't have a problem with that problem with burgers, but Adam, but you bake your burgers. Like, what is more egregious? Drying out a burger in an oven or moving around a stick to keep it in place?
I don't want to bake the burger. I don't have a choice.
What do you mean you don't have a choice?
I don't have a grill.
You
Buy
have
a
a
George
frying
Foreman.
pan. Do you not? Do you not have a frying pan?
I don't really like them so much on the frying pan.
They're much better than dried out in an oven.
I can't get them cooked properly.
Don't you have a new house?
That's a
Don't you have
you
a grill at your house?
problem.
I have a new house, yeah,
Haven't
but
you heard of the smash technique? It's the easiest way to make a good
oh
burger.
no, I've never heard of it, Dan. I only done a million shows with you and heard 500,000 smash burger references.
You're acting like it's so hard.
All right, you know what I've been doing is going to Five Guys every Friday. It's my Friday Five Guys.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, this one from Giannis. Let's be real. Dan is the best thing on the show. I literally would wait till Friday episode if I wasn't addicted to you guys. You're all the best. 6-1. Thanks, Jamie. And Heath's Halloween strategy is legit. And speaking of which, I have a comment here in the chat.
Great take. Who is this guy? Get him a free shirt. Send him merch. I have never gotten merch since joining this podcast, so maybe he can get some merch for free.
I saw Jamie on Halloween.
Wow. Did you say hi,
right.
Jamie, or did you snuff
say
him?
hello to me?
Yeah, why didn't you say hi?
I feel like Jamie snuffed him. Is that what he's saying?
Did you see my friend peeing in the bushes?
What?
Oh yeah, an
How
adult,
old is he?
by the way. She.
She.
Oh yeah,
What
she.
is going on?
I told you
here?
this story.
I didn't hear it. Maybe it was on the
Yes,
pod
you
and I
did.
missed
Yes,
that one.
you did tell me. That's right.
So we were walking around, and the thing was brought up. Somebody went to Dave's house and asked if they could use his bathroom as a joke.
Yeah.
And we said, would you let somebody use your house? Would you let somebody use your bathroom like a stranger? And I was with, my kids and their parents, and they may have been having a few drinks and nowhere near their house. And the wife, the mom, needed to go to the bathroom. And so the husband said, go ask them if they can use their bathroom. I'm sure they'll say yes. She's like, no way. And then we walked a few feet. She's like, I'm going peeing right here. Like she saw a spot behind a house and she just squatted and peed.
Oh my God.
Good for
Good
her.
thing there were no cops around.
I gotta tell
Well,
you,
I said,
man,
I was like, there's probably ring cameras. You're gonna get they're gonna have a good story to tell.
if someone asked me to use my bathroom on Halloween, I think I said
You'd be devastated, Adam.
I would do it. I would say
The
yes.
sad thing is you'd be too scared to say no. This is exactly how it would play out. You'd be so nervous and scared to say no. So you'd be badgered into saying yes, but you'd be so disgusted and disappointed with letting some stranger into your bathroom.
100% right.
And you can't let them near your kitchen sink. That's where you brush your teeth.
That's where your friend pees, as I recall.
No, that's not. Friend is a loose term there. It's
Okay.
somebody I know.
All right, we got to take a break here. We'll come back with your emails at fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. And I did cherry pick the first one. I'll let you know that right now. We'll be right back on Fantasy Football Today. All right, we're back with our emails. Again, it's fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. If you want your question read, Apple Podcast is a great way. Leave us a 5-star review and Apple Podcast, but do it early in the week. Monday or Tuesday would be best. So it definitely shows up for me because it takes a while for them to show up. So, but for email, fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. That's the letter I. This is from Doug, and the subject is Dan's Stick. He says, love the show. I've never emailed before, but the ongoing Dan trashing has compelled me to finally weigh in. First of all, it is not only okay to use the stick in the burger, but absolutely the smart thing to do. You keep ignoring the fact, and he continues to point out that this was not just a regular burger, but a burger stacked with additional layers.
Yes.
Who hasn't had a sandwich with multiple slippery layers totally come apart in your hands when it all squishes out the back as you take your first bite?
Yes.
Using the stick ensures that those layers stay in place, giving you the opportunity to enjoy all of them in each bite. I think you should apologize to Dan's Stick. Secondly, it's not snobbery to want to go to small local mom and pop places to eat rather than chain restaurants. That is simply a desire to experience new and interesting food instead of boring and predictable food. I normally listen to the podcast, so I can't comment on Dan's haircut, tight shirt, or whatever he was wearing last week that provoked more comments about his appearance. But I'm starting to think that he does these things on purpose to provide fodder for the show. Dan is to be commended for his thick skin and graceful tolerance of the constant ribbing he receives. If this were directed towards others on the show, they may not take it with nearly as much good humor. If we take into consideration not only what Dan says, but also the content he indirectly provides, he's got to be the funniest guy on the show.
Wow,
First of all,
go.
Holy bleep. I know you take Fridays off. How much other time did you take up to write this email to Adam? This is insane.
Really.
There's no way somebody wrote this willingly. That's not you.
Actually, Jamie, the truth is there's like 3 more paragraphs complimenting all of us separately, but I only read the Dan part. But so it was very...
Yeah, so it couldn't have been me if there were 3 more paragraphs complimenting
yeah,
all of you separately.
Was this guy's name Shan Meyer?
Shan Meyer. Yeah. All right. Oh, thank you for
Amazing
that
email, by the way. Thank you so much.
This is from John. Would you trade Pollard for Eckler in PPR?
No, I'd rather have Eckler.
No.
That email was written by Pan Fryer, says my producer, Zach Brook. You'd rather have Pollard than Eckler?
No,
Rather
Eckler.
Right. So you trade Pollard for Eckler. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
From Mervin. Pick, I think it was 1, but rank the top 2. Rashad White, Kareem Hunt, Zay Flowers, Christian Watson.
What's
This
the
is
format?
just for this week.
I don't know what the format is. Yes, just for this week.
It was White, Hunt, who?
Flowers and Watson. I'll go White, Flowers, Hunt, Watson.
Yeah,
PPR.
White, Flowers, Hunt, Watson is mine as well. I did some digging into Rashad White because I was considering making a trade offer, which I'm curious what you guys would have thought of in a super flex league where I'm desperate for quarterback because sadly Desmond Ridder was just benched, and that shows how desperate I was to begin with. I was considering offering Deontay Johnson for Rachaad White and Will Levis. I didn't make that offer, but I looked into Rachaad White, and I'm very impressed with his recent usage in the passing game. And I think that's going to be a part of the offense because it's been working. So that makes him somebody who I think is a player who I think is worth trading for right now. Because I feel like right now, if you make the trade offers for him, it's not like people are onto it yet. I feel like there's still that sense around him that he's almost like a bust, especially for where he was drafted. So he's somebody I'm looking to buy low on right now before this week.
He is just a pass catcher. You're getting nothing from
him
as a runner.
Which is fine though. That's like most of those backs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I know he DM'd you, and I know
no, it has nothing to do with that.
You're fine.
It's all to do with his pass game usage.
Water to the bridge.
If I'm investing in running back, you better be catching passes or scoring touchdowns.
All right, this next greeting is a TV show that I'm not smart enough to understand, but Dan is from Scott. Hey, Jimmy, Bunk, Omar, and Bubbles.
Yep. I don't know how you even knew that. Would you Google? Why are you laughing, Jamie?
Because I know what show he's referencing, and obviously that's the one you like.
Good for Jamie. See, that's why Jamie has always been and always will be, always has been, always will be more cultured.
He doesn't watch The Wire. He just knows the reference.
Well, that's half the battle is knowing the reference first.
I know the reference. I know Omar is always The Wire. Omar is The Wire.
Okay, which one was Omar?
I don't know. That show is the most boring show. Omar was
not boring at all.
Omar was the boring one.
Boring is an insane take. You want to hear boring?
I just couldn't.
That's boring.
Wait, you want exciting?
You've watched all the seasons of that boring show.
I finished season 7 last night.
Great.
Here's exciting. The Giants not only have one new kicker, they have two.
Oh no. Who'd they sign now?
Randy Bullock and Cade York.
And who? Oh, Cade York. Wow.
Makes sense.
They brought in Robbie Gould too. They brought in Robbie Gould too, and I was like, how old is Robbie Gould? He's got to be there's got to be at the point. Do you remember Morton Anderson at the end of his career where all he could do is kick from inside for 35 or something like that, and he was still playing there? That was amazing.
Because
we'll
he
see
never
what
missed.
happens. I know he never missed from inside 39, but this is a disaster, Adam. The Giants.
No, I don't want to talk about them. From Scott, I was offered a trade of Travis Etienne. No. Oh yeah. I was recently offered Travis Etienne for Gibbs and Ayuk. Which side would you rather have?
Etienne.
10-team league, by the way.
Definitely Etienne.
I think I have to say Etienne. Etienne was my biggest miss of the year.
From actually that sweater you wore last week. Biggest miss of the year.
What was wrong with that sweater? That was pretty cool. Is this one? You like this one better?
Yeah, you look good in that. It fits.
That sweater had a lot of drip. That last sweater. People in the comments
never use the word drip again.
Drip. Dan Schneider. The first time I ever heard the word drip associated with my name ever.
Your recent attire ranking will go. This sweatshirt's the best. Then the tight shirt.
It wasn't
tied for worse with what you wore last week.
It wasn't that tight.
Oh, it wasn't that tight. Just everyone who's ever seen it thought it was tight, but it wasn't. All right, from Kyle. If you could have
he used the word drip. Oh God.
He used it last week too, I think. If you could have Dave, Jamie, and Heath pick a quarterback, wide receiver, and running back for a flag football team in the Olympics, who would they pick? And nobody can pick the same person or player. So I'll just have Jamie and Dan do it. Give me your quarterback, wide receiver, and running back for flag football.
All right, so we'll do a draft. I'll go first. I'll take Mahomes.
Good pick.
I'll play too.
Okay. I'll take second pick. Adam, you can have the snake. I will take Burrow.
I will take Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane.
Oh, you're in such a good spot. Not having
a
quarterback. I should definitely not taken a quarterback. That was so smart. Coming back to me here, you took two of the fastest guys. I will take. Nope, I'll take Jamar Chase. Rapport still matters. I got Burrow. I got Chase. That's my second pick. And then I am also going to take.
Excuse me.
Why do you get two?
It's
never mind.
We're doing this for the upcoming Olympics, right?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, so I get 2 picks, right? So I'm going to take McCaffrey and Jefferson. They'll be healthy by then.
Perfect. So your team is what? Is
Mahomes, McCaffrey, and Jefferson. This worked out really well.
I really wanted McCaffrey. Coming back to me, I need a running back still. And I needed somebody who's even close or remote to McCaffrey, and there isn't much left at that point. But you know what? I'll come around to this player. And especially because he doesn't have to process blocks or anything. It's flag football. Give me Travis Etienne.
Travis. Okay. So do I have HN and Tyreek? Do I go Tua here? I think I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. I think I'm going to break up the chemistry.
Jalen Hurts. What a horrible pick that is for flag football.
What?
Why? It's an amazing pick.
Oh wait, never mind. You could still run in flag football. I assume there's like a 5 Mississippi. How does a flag football work? Is there
They
pass
rush. Yes.
They rush with blockers?
Yeah.
What?
Let me ask you this: how does
You get one rusher?
One rusher. Is there a blocker for the rusher?
Yeah.
What? Is it physical? You can like contact?
You
I
can't use
don't
your
know
hands.
if I've ever seen flag football.
You can't use your hands.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
can't use
Lamar
your hands.
Jackson would have been a pretty good pick for flag football. Actually, I could have gone him or Hurts. Do we need to go over the snake draft? a little bit?
I didn't do enough with Jamie this past off season.
All right, let's go to Chris from Denver. 12-team non-PPR. Give non-PPR. Give up Gus Edwards. Get Marquise Brown.
No. F.
I like it. I think it's a B plus.
You'd
I'm
rather
gonna
have Marquise
go
Brown than Gus Edwards in
B+.
non-PPR?
Not this week, but yes, I would. I think Marquise Brown
What?
with Kyler Murray. I think we're talking about I think potentially must-start wide receiver. And I don't even think in non-PPR Gus Edwards is a must-start running back. He still gets
What?
nothing in the passing game. You're high on him because he has scored recently. Look at his previous 4 games. I don't even
I'm
think
high on him because he's going to get the same 62 yards that Marquise Brown's going to get. The catches don't count, and they both have this. They don't have the same chance to score.
I think Marquise Brown could definitely have more than 62 yards with Kyler per game.
He could.
Look at
Gus could have
I
100
don't think it's
plus yards, too.
egregious to buy into the Marquise Brown rapport with Kyler Murray. I like the angle, Adam, but Gus Edwards, the Ravens haven't done anything at all to upgrade that running back. They're happy and content with Gus Edwards. He's in a good role in one of the best offenses in football. I'll take that over the possibility that Murray can get back to where he was in this offense.
And you're Mr. YPC for life. I mean, Gus Edwards is the king of that.
I don't really think he is this year. I don't know what he's averaging this year.
Every year of his career, it's 5 yards per carry.
Is it though this year?
I don't know.
Nobody's really averaging 5 yards per carry this year. Let's see what's our next email is. Oh, by the way, Marquise Brown, first 6 games last year, on pace for 1,374 yards and 8 touchdowns. I don't think it'll be that good.
That's going to be exactly replicated.
Yeah. From Dave. Dear Will, Vince, Owen, and Bradley. Dan, you should get this. Will, Vince, Owen, and Bradley.
Yeah. This is characters? Those were actors.
They're actors.
Yeah. Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Bradley. Forget that one. Who cares?
Cooper. What movie?
Yeah.
What
He counts
movie
in
was
the
that?
Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love Wedding Crashers. Love Wedding. This is one of the best
I know.
movies of all time for me.
You only like movies. You only like Judd Apatow or that
No.
type of movie from the last 25 years.
That's not true.
the only comedies you like.
Oh, comedies.
Wedding Crashers is great,
That
though.
might be true.
It is. Who are some of your never let you go players?
Do you think
so
if I
far
yell
this year?
Ma the meatloaf? My mother-in-law
You'll
made
get
meatloaf.
anything bring out to you? That'd be awesome, Jamie. If a door opened and you were just handed something. Right? How good would that be?
Who is a player that is playing poorly and is pretty much unstartable, but you just can't drop them? For me, it's Miles Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, and Jalen Warren.
You wouldn't drop Miles Sanders at this
Good
point?
question.
Yeah, I certainly would.
Oh, he would. Yeah, I would. This is just his players. That's a great question.
Oh,
trying
I'm
to
sorry.
think
I thought that was you.
who are your guys? Yeah, I'm trying to think through my teams. Who are my guys I've just
Who
had
stinks that I'm
sitting
not
on
dropping?
the bench?
Jerry
These guys
Jeudy
you've been
is
sitting on the back of your bench because you're like, these guys are going to eventually get going. One player for me for a while was in a deep league was Odell Beckham Jr. because I just felt like every time I watched the Ravens or I watched tape of the Ravens, he was getting open and he still is getting open. The ball just never comes his way or he gets held or PI'd. And it's just like, you don't get points for that. So for a while, I was just holding him and I was just like, all right, this is just never going to happen. That's one. That's a deeper league. Go ahead.
I finally did it with Roshan Johnson in a few leagues,
that's a
mostly
good
because
one.
bye weeks. I've
That's a
been
good
waiting
one.
and waiting and waiting and waiting.
And it just never happens. I mean, let's see who else is on this bench. I have Deshaun Watson in the Duke EV league. I've
Well, you have to
considered
hold him
dropping
there.
him.
No, you can't. No way.
For what? Like when he comes back, he came back 2 weeks ago and he killed
Dan,
my
you
week.
you just said you were in one league hanging on to Desmond Ritter. Like,
I
you
know.
can't drop him to the 2 QB league. What are you doing?
I can't, but I'm so nervous that he's going to come back. Oh, he's cleared. He's going. Do you see the video they posted to social media yesterday? Like, Deshaun Watson has his zip back. I put it on Twitter. It was like, this is his zip. These are some of the least zip throws I've ever seen. The ball like trickled over on a slant route. I'm like, oh my God. This
question from
the
chat:
devastate me.
Has Dan seen Spaceballs?
Oh, I've seen Spaceballs. Love Spaceballs.
Oh wow, that actually surprises me.
Yeah, seen Spaceballs. Love Spaceballs. There's a few I've seen. Like, I just need to do a better job of watching movies. What's the next one you have for me, Adam? I watched. Remember, I watched Die Hard. We did that one.
Yeah.
Give me another assignment.
Can you finish Matchstick Men?
No, I have to get back to that.
I promise you, it's honestly an excellent movie.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, and then for some reason I just paused because it was I just not a good time.
But if you want, like, just watch Braveheart. It's my favorite movie.
I have never seen Braveheart. Yeah, I know.
What?
A lot of people. Yeah, I know. Jamie, it's bad. I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Gladiator? Have you seen Gladiator?
I've seen Gladiator. Love Gladiator.
Braveheart is about 100 times better than Gladiator. And Gladiator's
No, shut up.
No, Gladiator is like a cheesy version of Braveheart.
What? Oh my God.
No, I don't like that take.
Gladiator, I like Gladiator. Braveheart is just on another level. Braveheart's on another level.
Yeah, I mean, cheesy version of Braveheart. You just call Gladiator a cheesy version of Braveheart.
It's tough.
It's like the summer blockbuster.
Who wins in a fight? Which character wins in a fight?
Oh,
Marcus Aurelius. No.
Yeah. Who should I start? Puka or Nico Collins?
Oh God, I can't believe we've gotten to that point.
I want to see what the injury report is today.
Yeah,
but I'm still gonna lean Nico.
I'm leaning Nico. I don't want a Brett Ripien game. Is it Rippin?
Rippin. Rippin.
He's gonna rip you in it.
I like Ripien better.
So I mean, like the year after the Giants won the Super Bowl, Mark Rippon won the Super Bowl, right? Giants in 90.
87?
No, 90 and 91. 91, I think, was Mark Rippon, his uncle. From Alec, 10-team half. And you know what's funny? It's like, that's the point of football that I kind of know about. And that's a little bit before Dan's time. Like Dan probably.
But I'm like 5 years younger than you, and then that's my time. Like fast forward 5 years to the late 90s, and that's when I can start to.
Late 90s. So you weren't really big on like the Cowboys dynasty?
No.
Because like obviously I know Joe Montana and
I'm like my beginning memories of football.
I don't remember.
The player that made me fall in love with football is John Elway. So that's my bet. That's my earliest, basically. The Elway Broncos.
I wonder. That's a great. Which player, Jamie? Which player made you fall in love with football?
Oh, Dan Marino.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, I don't know what it was for me. Kent Graham.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
You know how like we make fun of Prisco for like, oh, you were around with leather helmets. Like I can't wait for a few years when you guys are like, oh my God, you watch Marino.
I wish I had remembered Dan Marino. I just remember like the tail end. Same with Lawrence Taylor. I really only remember the tail end.
Don't remember much there.
All right. So 10-team half PPR from Alex needs to start one running back. One of them is Najee Harris, but if he didn't start him, Jerome Ford, Madison, or Brian Robinson?
Ford for me. The matchup is so good.
It is.
And I saw this. I think it was I forget who tweeted it. I apologize for not making reference of it. I believe like 20 of his 26 snaps for Ford came in the fourth quarter.
Oh, so nice.
Despite the ankle injury, that's the guy that they were leaning on.
Interesting. I like that. That sold me. So give me Ford. I'm obviously never going Madison. So give me Ford.
All right. I love this conversation. Which player made you fall in love with football? I wish I could think of who mine was.
It's amazing that Kent Graham was the first player that came to mind.
No, it wouldn't have been him. I was just joking, but it was probably a college football player.
Yeah.
It was probably somebody like Michael Barrow, who also ended up, and Jesse Armstead. Both of them played for the Giants, but both of them played for the Hurricanes. I love Lamar Thomas. I don't know if Jim, you remember Lamar Thomas?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
love Lamar Thomas in a Hurricane.
I grew up a Canes fan, so yeah. Melvin Bratton.
That was before me.
Definitely before you.
Yeah, before my time. All right, we'll take a break here. Let's get some people here in the chat. Devin Hester. Yeah, that's
one young guy over there.
Young guy. Drew Brees.
Young guy.
Zach said Daniel Sorensen.
Oh, Zach.
George Blanda. Jack Kemp. Yeah, this is fun. I love it. All right, we'll take a break. We got your YouTube comments. Get those YouTube questions in right now. We'll read them when we come back. Okay, everybody, let's finish up our show with Comments from the YouTubers. Marshall Falk. Yep, that's a good one for sure. MJD made me respect the small guys with attitude.
I like that one. That's another good one.
Yeah.
I
LT.
felt that way about Natron means.
Tomlinson.
That was one of my
Natron
other guys.
means. Natron means.
Is it Natron?
Yeah. I love Bettis too. I mean, that guy was.
Oh, yeah. He
Everyone
was fun.
loved him. All right. Higgins or Waddle? PPR. I did not mean to. No. Vic. That's a good one. Higgins or Waddle? There it is.
Waddle.
Yeah, Waddle.
Jamie said Josh Downs over DJ Moore. What does Dan think?
I completely agree with Josh Downs over DJ Moore.
Full PPR. Sit one. Rasheed Rice. Yeah, there's a burger emoji there. I don't see a stick though.
Yeah, because that's a regular burger, a cheeseburger.
This must be
You understand, Adam, if there's not a lot of toppings, you don't need the stick. Okay? It was explained to you eloquently in that amazing email from that amazing listener who, by the way, again, like I said,
you wrote it. It's so funny.
100% wasn't me.
I'm convinced. Rasheed Rice, Jordan Addison, Tank Dell, Josh Downs. Who are you sitting?
I'm sitting Tank Dell.
But I'm not expecting much from Jordan Addison. I'll tell you that.
That's how I feel. But try telling Jamie that. Try.
Why do you not expect much? I just don't expect that offense to be able to sustain drives at all with Jaren Hall. It's just my personal opinion.
I think Kevin O'Connell's smart enough to give him some easy throws, and those guys get open. The two main guys,
O'Connell,
Hockenson and Addison. To me, I go back to when Kyle Shanahan's been put in this situation. Last year, Sean McVay put in this situation. Kevin O'Connell put in this situation. If they were concerned about Jaren Hall to the point of we can't move the ball, it'd be throwing Josh Dobbs there right away.
That's a good point. Can he play this? I guess he can. He was traded early enough in the week. Yeah, it's an interesting point because they would probably just be like, let's just play Dobbs. Okay. I can buy that. I saw a lot of Jaren Hall and I didn't feel like he was anywhere close to NFL ready. That depends, I guess, on how the defensive coordinator plays this matchup. And if he's going to pressure him a lot and bring a lot of, disguise blitzes, that's where I really think he can struggle in this game. We'll see, though. Yeah. He is good enough, O'Connell. I will give you that. He's a good route designer. The route combinations are good, and Addison gets open. So there's that.
Adam, put that comment up there from, is it Raw Teeb, about if I feel this way about Addison when I feel that way about Puka. I do feel this way about Puka. I'll say the same thing I say about Addison, about Puka, about Kupp. You're still starting them. You just got to downgrade them. It's just what we talked about earlier on the show this morning was that they're still must-start guys, especially this week with 4 teams on a bye. But Puka and Kupp were top 10 guys. Now they're top 15, top 20 guys. Mm-hmm. Addison was a borderline top 10 guy. Now he's a top 20 guy. So I'm still starting them. I just like Addison a little bit better than Puka for this week.
I have more faith in Rippon than Hall.
That's perfectly fine. But is Rippon going to support 2 guys?
I don't know. Puka Nacua or Zay Flowers this week? Oh, God. Puka. You can't.
What?
Honestly, I have to do a better job of actually reading the names. So I shouldn't have read that one because it was a disgusting name.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Earlier today, I put huge asses comment on this. This was a lot worse than that. Addison, Downs.
You understand by saying that, Adam, that you're inviting people to do it more, right?
No, I'm not going to read your questions.
Does Dan know the touchdown there story?
No, but I only have 4 minutes left. I'm sorry.
Oh, give it to me. You're not going to hide this from me. Give it to me.
At the end. I have some injury updates too. Addison, Downs, or Debo, rest of season.
Oh, Debo for me.
Yeah. If Cousins was still there, I'd take Addison, but yeah, Debo.
Ridley or Higgins, rest of season, half PPR.
This is a good one. Higgins for me.
I'll go Ridley.
David A says enough with the stick, and Wayne says always eat the stick.
Yeah,
eat the stick.
Eat the stick.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Ferguson or Njoku?
Ferguson.
Fergie.
Kareem Hunt or Aaron Jones?
Hunt.
Start a running back in a flex. James Cook, Darrell Henderson, Gabe Davis, Michael Thomas.
Davis and Cook for me.
I will go Davis and Henderson.
Oh my God!
Like that one. Dan looks like Seth Rogen's little brother.
I don't see.
So
no, that feels a little. I'll just be honest. That feels a little.
Yeah, I know. I don't even say it, but it does.
I've been compared. I look like some people. Some people have said I look like Andy Samberg. That one I can sort of see. Some people say I look like Josh Allen, which that one is my favorite one. And sometimes I kind of see it. Um,
I remember I put up a side by side last year. Remember?
yeah, don't question it, Zach, in the
I
comments.
put up Josh Allen from the
Take a look at
Jaguars.
his Josh Allen video. He just posted one. You know what?
You look at nothing like Josh Allen. Mostert, would you trade Mostert for Derrick Henry and Rashee Rice?
Not with Achane coming back.
Most of
you would. You give up Mostert for
I
Henry.
would definitely do that.
Yeah.
Definitely do that.
I'd rather have Henry.
Why am I reading those wrong though?
Yeah, I'm not sure because you're on vacation on your golf course.
Apparently, yeah.
Metcalf or Gabe Davis?
Somebody's about to tee off. I think we're on like hole 9.
God, I want to be there.
Metcalf or Gabe Davis?
For this week,
Davis.
yeah, Gabe.
Should I trade in non-PPR Patrick Mahomes, Travis Etienne, and either Michael Thomas or Gabe Davis? Let's say Michael Thomas. Should I trade Mahomes, Etienne, and Thomas for Dak Prescott, Tyreek Hill, and Josh Jacobs?
No.
So you're going to downgrade from Mahomes to Dak.
It's 2 downgrades for 1 upgrade. No.
Yeah, 2 down, exactly as Jamie said it.
Okay.
Etienne is
Kincaid
definitely
or
better than Jacobs.
Hawkinson, full PPR?
Kincaid.
For this week, Kincaid.
Oh, no. Hawkinson.
No, I'm Kincaid.
Maybe
I'm
that's a
staying
40
Kincaid.
slip. Maybe I should make that switch.
I'm staying Kincaid. Jonah Hill. Oh my God, Mark Bacon. This is insane. I don't look like Jonah Hill. What the freaking hell?
All right, we got to go. So I have to go. So Drake London did not practice, and
Jonah
Curtis
Hill.
Samuel did not practice.
That's just, that's as bad as it's gotten so far, Mark Bacon.
All right. So real quick, here's the
touch.
touchdown there story. So we were doing a live mock draft with listeners, and people were putting their names in, obviously, for their team names. And so Adam kept saying, "Oh, Adam's up, Dan's up, touchdown there's up," and he didn't understand what the reference was until he realized what the reference was. He goes, "Oh, touchdown there! Oh, now I get it. I can't say that anymore."
Touchdown there, and I didn't understand the joke. I
don't think Dan understands the joke either.
I don't understand it either.
Like
say it as 3 separate words.
Touchdown there.
Yeah.
Touchdown there.
Yes, your crotch, Dan.
Oh, touchdown there. Okay.
All right, folks.
Okay.
Let's get out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you on Sunday on Fantasy Football Today.